I'll rescue this civilian. I don't know where they go. I don't know. Where are they gonna go? Let's see where are you gonna go? Oh. Oh! They're ghosts. So that's Redfall. Yo, 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 what is up, everyone? Today I'm going to be checking out Redfall, the game the internet collectively hates this week. Is it warranted? Yeah, for the most part. I am a giant Arkane fan. This is from Arkane Austin. Arkane has 2 different studios at this point, but Arkane has made some of my favorite games of last generation. So far, this generation even. Like, I love Deathloop was their last game. We will move out of here, though. I'll talk more about that later. I'm going to fast travel here, because it always starts me out of this safe house for whatever reason. But yeah, this is Redfall. Basic setup is you are in a New England-ish, you know, Maine-ish, like around that area, you know, very coastal, but, you know, fishing city type thing. You're in one of those towns that is taken over by vampires. And it's a co-op shooter. It's up to 4 players. It's very focused on the co-op and looting and stuff like that. I'm not going to be playing co-op today, and I have not played co-op because I've heard that it makes the game way buggier. And so far, I've been running into some stuff. Not like too bad. I've heard Jedi Survivor last week was pretty rough in regards to a lot of things. Probably maybe a little bit more so with game-breaking stuff. This is more just like, I don't know how Arkane put this out. Like, this game feels rushed just because it feels half-finished. Not necessarily in a buggy sense, but more of a just... It feels like they did a first pass on a lot of things. I don't know. I'm super interested in seeing the story behind this game. Like, how this game came to be. Because I know it's development before Microsoft, but it sounds like it's a mess. You know? And this is from Arkane Austin. They made Prey. They made... they worked on Dishonored 1 and 2. Arkane Lyon, the other Arkane studio, they made Deathloop, and they worked on Dishonored 2, and I think the Death of the Outsider thing. I'm not sure. But we're going to go over here. Actually, I'll show this. So, yeah, it's a looter shooter. You got loot. It's basically, there's not a ton of variety in the weapons. There's maybe, like, so far I've maybe come across... I've been trying to keep, like, individual weapons just to kind of see how many different types there are. But I've got 14 different types here. And I imagine there's not a ton more. So maybe there's about like 30 different weapon variants. And they all have certain names, but the actual stats vary from weapon to weapon. More so not like, you know, if a level 5 weapon compare it to like the same level 5 weapon, it'll have the same damage and all that stuff. But it might have different perks. You can kind of see the perks underneath actually, the damage and stuff like that. So the loot aspect of this game is not, it's not even that major. I don't even know how I would attribute it to like what another loot type of game is off the top of my head. I really don't, but I feel like I've played games like this before that aren't full looter shooters. So skill wise, you got a skill tree. You can see this is the skill tree for Devender. He is one of the 4 characters you can play as. They all have different skills. They all have like 3 different skills. 2, you know, ones that you can use basically at any point, and then 1, you know, basically an ultimate ability. With him, I picked him because he is the closest thing to almost Blink from Dishonored. I've heard a lot of the pre-release stuff said like, hey, it's the closest thing to that. So I decided, hey, let's do that because I love Blink. I love Dishonored. It doesn't work as well as that, like most things in this game. So that's one skill. You got this basically arc javelin that basically will close off areas. It'll zap enemies that are near them. Basic stuff. And this is just basically almost the same exact thing, just a different, you know, style almost. You can see there. They'll just petrify enemies. You can hit them. Blah, blah, blah. Vampires. You get it. This is the skill tree. So far, I have not seen anything too interesting. What's like the last thing on here? I haven't actually looked. Create a decoy. Okay, that's a good thing to have, actually. Because the AI in this game sucks. The state of the AI in this game makes me 100% worried more for Arkane than anything else. Because this game seems like it was a rushed thing. 100%. Like, so many things just feel half-finished. Not necessarily in a buggy sense, but like, just, it feels like it was a first pass, almost. I'm sure you've seen a lot of videos of people just shooting at car windows and that blows them up and type of things. And, you know, it does have that stuff and, like, it is, yeah. Almost every game has that type of stuff at a certain point. That's something I kind of look past for the most part, but there's a lot of things. Like, even looking in here, there's not that much stuff to loot. The stuff that I am looting is not anything... Oh, important. What was that? Okay, I don't know. I'm not worried about it. Not worried about it. This game might seem spooky, but it's not. But yeah, you see, I don't even have that much stuff to loot here. The main thing you'll get is supplies, and that's basically what you'll use to buy weapons, restock your weapons. That's like what the economy centers around is supplies. And that's what you'll get for destroying old weapons type stuff. But even here, you can kind of see it's not like Borderlands where you're opening a chest every 5 seconds and find a bunch of loot, or Diablo. It's really not that type of thing. We're gonna go to this main story mission. Is there a guy up there? We'll see how bad this AI is. I don't know why. What's this guy doing? Here, we'll do this. So here, I can use translocator.
Translocating.
Straight out of an Unreal Tournament. Oh God! That did not work. Did not work. I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna ignore it. Okay. So that did not work out. Like I said, it's not as good as Blink. Really not. I guess I'll see what this guy's deal is up here. I got a shotgun. Oh, there he is. Oh God. Yeah, that's this game. Yeah, that's been a lot of Redfall so far. A lot of stuff just to break out the immersion. Oh, actually, this is for a side quest. We'll do it real quick. No stealth takedown animation. I know people have a problem with that, and I do too, just solely because this is an Arkane game, and you know they're behind Dishonored. Like, that game's all about stealth animations. Deathloop has insanely cool stealth animations. So what I just picked up is like the collectibles in this, called Gravelocks.
Thought we was lying.
Basically, this lady will talk.
I liked showing him we was real.
It's very similar to Dishonored, where you had that, you know, the heart, which was the heart of the Empress, basically, in that game, where it would, you know, tell you backstory, tell you kind of vague stuff that you kind of had to look into a little bit, or just at least infer what's actually going on, which I liked in that game. In this game, it's very much just like kind of a pale imitation in a lot of ways. Okay, and then, yeah, I didn't say, it's not only vampires. Also dealing with some humans that are like cultists centered around like the main kind of boss vampires. There's like 4 or 5 main kind of boss vampires you'll run across when you could just complete like a story path, it seems like. I've not got to the first one yet. Oh, Eater's Writings. I have something important to tell you. I'm not gonna go through all this because this one is pretty long. I'll say the writing for these isn't terrible, but it's not. I mean, Arkane's never been known for their story. Really has never been known for their stories as much as people. Oh, okay, vampire. Okay. And then fighting vampires should be a lot more fun than it is. Okay. This part's cool. I like that. Usually that kills the frame rate for certain enemies types. That's the thing that sucks. Like I said, just it feels like even now. I just came in here, did this side mission. One vampire was here. That was it. It's very much a game that feels like it's from the past. And it's hard to even attribute it to anything particular. The only thing I can really say it feels like, and I didn't finish this game, I only played a little bit of it, is Homefront Revolution. The kind of look of the UI and everything just, oh. Speaking of which, AI is bad. Like, this guy should see me, right? Let's close the door and see what happens. Yeah. AI in this game is bad. That's what makes me worried so much about Arkane. Oh god, okay. Okay, he just wasn't shooting me then. Okay, whatever. Yeah, Arkane, I mean, their games are all about, you know, they made immersive sims. Immersive sims in general need at least passable AI. And they need good level design, they need options. This game's level design isn't, I mean, it doesn't feel like as good as Arkane's past stuff, but there's some elements where I'm like, okay, this feels sort of like an Arkane game. But yeah, when it comes to Arkane's past games, they mainly made immersive sims. I mean, all of it was immersive sims. Immersive sims are games where you can attack and encounter like however you want. So a lot of times, with a lot of them, it's basically, hey, you can hack your way in, you can lockpick your way in, you can shoot your way in, stealth, multiple ways to kind of get through most encounters. That's what immersive sims are all about. And you need good AI at that point. Because if the AI is not good, then why do you care about sneaking through, even sneaking in the first place? And Deathloop's AI was not good, but that game very much felt like the AI was not good because of its structure and because of just what its intentions were. That game felt like a game meant to get people into immersive sims, as confusing it could be at first. And that's why it kind of took us like, the AI was dumbed down as a result of that. This game, the AI should not be I mean, the AI is worse in this game than it was back then. 100%. Oh god, the AI in this game.
That must be the radio station.
Okay.
I need a smoke real bad.
Okay, is he just gonna keep seeing me? One sec. Here we go. We'll use that translator.
Translocating.
Whoop. Okay. So that's why I like this guy, even in single player, because I always had that option to kind of sneak into an area however I want. But the AI is so bad that it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, and this, I don't know what's going on here. I don't. There's some parts of the open world that are like, oh, that's interesting looking. And there's, you know, Arkane usually kills it with art design. I feel like the art design of this game isn't bad, but there's a lot of stuff that's just like, okay, it just feels half finished. Oh, Jesus.
Gotcha.
There we go. That was thrilling. Thrilling. Okay, they're investigating. So watch, I'm gonna just, let's do this over here.
Let's get moving.
Let's go back over here. So I shot them over there. So, like, wouldn't that be cool if the AI investigated, you know, there's a lot more AI in this level and they investigated that spot and I could kind of fire on them. Whenever I use that translocator, they always follow me. So I can't even use it to sneak around enemies, really. Like, there's just a lot of stuff. When it comes to the actual shooting, the game, it's not bad. I've been having a fun enough time in regards to it being like an open world, Far Cry-esque game with vampires in it. The vampire stuff makes it feel a little bit different. So if you're looking for something like, you know, you just need something to kind of shut your brain off, podcast game, open world game, this isn't the worst option. But it is pretty crazy compared to,
They looked at me when my
like,
blood
Dead Island
ran
2 came out recently. And I have not played that, but all the reviews, all the discourse around that game is like, oh, this is the best game from, oh, what is he?
I would see them wanting more.
All the discourse around that game was like, this game is straight out of 2012. This is 100% a sequel to Dead Island, but in exactly the ways that you'd expect. And this game feels probably even more like from that era in a weird way. Like, from what I've heard, that game's not as buggy. That game runs better. Obviously, I've not mentioned it yet. 30 frames per second on consoles is a bummer. 100%. Especially because the AI, or the frame rate will dip whenever you do stake some enemies. Do not Byron Reed's been harassing me in melee. Okay. Okay. We'll just use a lockpick on this. That's it. You got lockpicks and a rewired kit. That's what. Hey, it's an immersive sim. Not really. I like, you know, most of these, like, notes you find because they do add to the kind of small town nature of this game. And that's what's the best part about it is, like, kind of the world, even though it's not 100% there. Like, Arkane's never been good at story. Not really. When it comes to premise, they are great. They come up with great premises. And then writing and actual plotting is kind of left to the wayside, it seems like. Oh, okay, I need to find the studio key. Let's see. This is immersive sim. I should be able to do this. Okay, okay. It does not look like I can get in there. It's like, it'd be cool I could use my translocator. Oh. So this weapon I have, I guess a single shot whenever I'm just hip firing, and then when I aim it does burst fire. I don't love it so far. I might switch off for a minute. I'm having a great time. And people are yelling at me in there, so that's not a good sign. Here we go. Let's do this. I like this weapon. There's a full auto weapon. Okay, get more of the supplies. Oh. What is happening? What? God, the AI in this game. Are they beneath me? Are they glitched? Okay, there's a guy here. There we go. Shooting doesn't feel too bad. Oh, okay. Let's throw that there. Come on, wait. Jesus, the AI. Yeah, it zaps them. So fighting human enemies is different than the vampires. AI for the vampires is a little bit better, but they're still kind of just jittering around the environment for the most part, and it's kind of breaks the immersion. But once you take them down to a low enough health, you can stake them. Okay. Oh. Radio DJ.
There's something over there.
Is he talking to me? It's just lame. There's a lot of stuff that's like, God, it's just disappointing. I mean, I think the internet's being maybe a little bit rough because what's here? I mean, there's worse things. Like, people need to play other stuff. Like, I mean, you know, I just did a video on Ghostwire Tokyo. That game feels 10 times worse than this. But that game's got interesting stuff on the side of it. This game doesn't really have anything. There's a day-night cycle. It does not matter. In daytime, there's still vampires because it's a black sun. I have not actually shown the sun. 30 frames per second is a bummer, though. I know the PC version does not have that lock, so it's one of those things where it's like, hey, you can play it on PC, but I've also heard some iffy stuff on the PC version, but that's been kind of all over the place, in all honesty. It's not been a specific, like, Jedi Survivor thing where almost everyone's having a bad time with it.
Hey, somebody watch my back while I check.
Okay, what's going on? Okay. And the world just in general feels pretty lifeless. Like, what's a... Oh, okay. Come after me, dude. The foundation of this game is good. Like, or not good, but it needs some other elements, obviously. Ooh, stab that. I like that animation. There's a compliment. I don't like how that looks. Okay. Because even this, like, med kit that I just used there, I just hold down, that's very much like Far Cry. This is a lot like Far Cry. But even Far Cry 5, I remember, you know, that game took place in Montana. In a, you know, town that was overtaken by a cult, obviously. But still, you would think that game came out, you know, years ago at this point. And that world felt more lively than this. Like, there's more civilians, more places to interact with, a lot more of that stuff. I do think people are being rough on this just because Microsoft, their first-party stuff has really been lacking for a while. Like, I mean, Hi-Fi Rush, amazing game. Love that game. But when you just look at their first-party stuff, it's been a lot of stuff in development for a long time, and nothing to come of it. They've done the opposite of Sony, where Sony has kept their cards a lot under the table in regards to what they have working on next. And Microsoft just, you know, blew their load with, you know, I don't know, come on, better term than that, in regards to what they were working on. To kind of get people hyped. They have Avowed, you know, from Obsidian. They have a lot of stuff that I'm excited for still.
Definitely not a normal day.
Not necessarily Starfield, but hey, it's a different matter entirely. Didn't love Fallout 4, so. And I hate this. This animation looks weird. You'd think they would be able to do... Oh, God, look at my hand. Oh, God. Yeah. This is disappointing. Disappointing. Especially the console version should be 60 frames per second, because this is not a... It doesn't look bad, but it, you know, there's definitely a lot of things that are lacking in regards to the visuals. Okay, what's that vampire doing? Okay. We will use this UV beam, I guess. So these UV beams, if I just fire from the hip, it's like more of a shotgun type of blast. Oh, this is a different type of vampire, actually. I think this guy, like, sucks blood from you. But if I aim it like this with left trigger, I can do like a singular beam. Wait till... and get closer to him. There's no stealth animation to take him out at once. Nothing like that. Like I said, just a lot of things are just like half-finished ideas, even not even like bug-wise. Take him. Ooh. Okay, that's the first time that frame rate did not go down to like who knows. Hello. Okay. Ooh. I have heard that co-op's very buggy though. I mentioned at the beginning. I watched some of the Kind of Funny crew play that today. Oh, okay, get me out of here. Okay. Watched them play that today, and while playing co-op, their, you know, just button inputs would not work. So one of them couldn't melee after playing for a while. Another one couldn't crouch, or two people couldn't crouch after playing it for a while. A lot of stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know. It's a bummer. Because, like, who knows when we'll get another Arkane game. And I love Arkane. I love them so much. Ugh, man. That is, in all honesty, the biggest bummer of this game is the AI. The AI is truly terrible. Truly. Like, they just heard me firing right out there. And if I had the tools to like kind of mess with them, it'd be good. But they are omniscient in a way that it's like not great. Like there it works. But if I had activated them, they would be able to. They would literally just follow me over here. They would look and just keep firing at me, and that sucks. Because that's what Deathloop. The AI is stupid, but you have abilities that make the game fun because you're almost like toying with them. Okay, let's just see what they do. I'll heal up you. Okay, watch. I'm gonna. So watch. I'm gonna. So they're kind of confused right now. Maybe I can do this. So let's go. Ooh. Okay, that time it did work. Only because they were not like alerted. I've not seen that they put an apology out for this game. You know, Jedi Survivor had to put out an apology, basically saying, "Hey, the game's very buggy. We're sorry, but hey, you bought it already." God. I don't know why we're back at this spot with games. For a while there, that was not the case. Like, games were releasing in such a buggy state. But now it's like, oh my god. This, Jedi Survivor. I mean, I've played a lot of Deathloop. So there's an environment in that game that's just like this. You know, the one with the lady with the gas. This is larger than that, but also way less interesting even. There's less stuff to interact with. There's less stuff to look at. All that. Okay. Oh, we got some civilians. It's only happened once so far.
Townsfolk taken captive, waiting to be sacrificed.
Who saw me? Who saw me?
Certainly can't let that happen.
Well, I guess I'll try to save him. Okay, I guess I'll just hang out up here. I don't even think they'll come to me. Just hang out here. I've seen some people have had some problems with the controls, and I have had it to where the dead zone's a little bit small. It's a little bit flighty, looking around. But hey, like I said, I just played some Ghostwire Tokyo. This is nothing compared to that. And that's the thing, I am just shooting these guys. My character doesn't have, you know, the craziest abilities. The other characters in this game seem like they have a lot, almost cooler abilities in a way, but they also are very much more oriented towards co-op. Like, you've got, one of them has a lift ability, I know, where basically they can place down almost a jump pad, and that's their kind of unique thing. And it's like, you should be doing more, like, it really just feels like this game is full of half-finished ideas. And the premise is really good. I would love to see this premise done well, so that sucks. I'll rescue this civilian. I don't know where they go. I don't know. Where are they going to go? Let's see, where are you going to go? Oh. Oh! They're ghosts. So that's Redfall. I don't know how much more of this I should play. I could finish up the story mission. Story missions have environments that are more in depth than like the side missions. Like I said, this area's a lot bigger. Oh, good shotgun. Like I said, fighting vampires is more interesting than fighting humans, but also they're glitching around everywhere at times. That's the part that feels glitchy of this game, is actually fighting vampires, which, hey, that should be a big part of it. Like, I wanted to go into this to try not to be completely negative, because I am not having a terrible time with this. I'm not even having a bad time with this. Like, so far, I'm, about 5-6 hours in, and as a game that feels like it was from 2014, maybe 2012, like a Borderlands, Far Cry-esque looter shooter, like, it's passable. But whenever you look at what Arkane does best, there's barely any of that in this game. Barely any of it. And it's a bummer. It's a bummer. But hey, it's on Gamepass, Xbox, PC Gamepass. If you want to have some fun with friends, I would say maybe give it a shot. But also, from what I've heard about the co-op multiplayer, it sounds like it's got some issues. And they have not put out a formal apology of like, hey, we're going to fix this. Which, hey, that's... I don't even know if... I would say that's the least you can do. But at the end of the day, the least you could do is just release a game that's, not buggy. I don't know. I'm sad. I'm sad. I'll be playing more of this. Check out the channel later on this week. I don't think I'll have a review up this week. I know I didn't have one last week. I've been sort of busy lately. But I'll have a video on the last case of Benedict Fox at the end of the week, probably Friday. And then next week, I'll hopefully have a review of Jedi Survivor. And then also working on a giant Resident Evil 4 thing. I'm about halfway through that. So we'll have that done too. I love that game. I want to do something more in depth with that. So yeah, I want to thank y'all for joining me. This has been Redfall. Subscribe if you want to see more Game Pass videos. Oh god, okay. Y'all are not chill. Let's do that. Do that. See ya. Oop, they just put me back here. But hey, start my regeneration. Nope, just keep stabbing. I want to thank y'all for joining me. Subscribe. Like the video. Do the stuff. Love y'all. I'll see you next time.
That's the last of them, I suppose.